Welcome to another edition of the magazine. Today we're here with John Pimentel of Max J Records. Welcome, John.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, how did you discover your passion for collecting records?
Well, I'd been collecting records since I was a kid, and I never stopped buying records all along my life.
So you've had it your whole life. You've been
Absolutely.
collecting your whole life.
Exactly.
And so Max J Records, how has the name come to here to Fairhaven, and how did you begin your business?
Well, I opened up 5.5 years, and the name came from a DJ name I used to use, DJ Max J.
Okay.
So we just switched it to Max J Records.
Very good. Awesome. And so from a DJ name to this great store here in Fairhaven. So what is the tradition from starting in the 70s? You know, everyone had records. You know, that was the big thing. And then went to, tapes. And then it went to CDs. How did this transition all happen?
Well, I think people like to have something they can hold on to. Everybody remembers when they bought their first record. No one really remembers when they bought their first MP3 or even CD for that matter. Record is something you hold on to, and there's been that desire to have a piece of art, and records provide that, both in the cover and the music.
So I remember my first record was actually the soundtrack to Grease, the movie Grease. So I remember that. So who is buying records today?
All ages. We have kids coming in, folks that started collecting records again. All ages, every type of genre is available on vinyl records.
Now, how do you play them today? Like, people, used to have a big stereo, whatever, but how do they play them?
Well, they started manufacturing turntables again, the same way that it's always been, pretty much.
Okay.
Nothing changed. It's still the same diamond needle that plays the record.
And people can come here when? When can people come and get a record? I look around the store. This is great. This is a great store.
7 days a week.
Okay.
We carry all the newest records that come out, and of course the classic records.
And who do you find is buying most of the records today?
Well, I would say between the ages of 16 and 70.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so a wide variety.
A wide
Great.
variety.
Wow. And how do you determine the price of a vinyl record?
The price, a lot of times, if it's a brand new record, is suggested by the manufacturers or the distributors. Used records, there's sites like Discogs that give us an idea, but the main factor on used records is the condition. Condition is everything with records. People don't want to listen to scratchy records, so you can have the greatest record, but if it's in bad shape, it's not worth very much.
Okay, and where do you get most of your records from?
Well, people bring them in, either estate sales or all types of ways they come in.
And do you test the records out when they
We
come
do.
in? Okay.
We clean all the records that are on the shelves here, ultrasonically clean them, and inspect it. And a lot of times we even play a little bit of the record just to make sure that there's no distortion and things like that.
Okay, and I'm sure that people love coming in and seeing the display of the records.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, they like flipping through the records and checking out the artwork, the liner notes, things you can't really do on CDs, because the liner notes are so small. People enjoy grabbing the record and putting the record on the turntable. It's an experience. It's I always tell people it's like fast food is great. It's convenient. It's easy. It's there when you want it. It's like an MP3 or streaming services. But a record is like fine dining. You have to have the time. You have to have the attention required. You have to put on the record. You have to remove the record, flip the record, things like that. But the experience you get from it is much better than you would on a streaming.
And I remember records, and I remember flipping through them. It told a story, actually.
Exactly. A lot of the interest is the liner notes and the experience. Usually when people put on a record, you're going to listen to the record. It's not part of the background. So the attention to the music is higher on a record than it is on streaming or MP3.
And it's a great collectible item.
Absolutely, yeah. People collect. There's people that just buy the records and they don't even have a turntable.
Wow.
So that happens a lot too. People will buy records before they even own a turntable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's your most popular? Like, what are people coming in looking for?
So right now, of course, Taylor Swift, her record sells very well. Of course, the classic records like Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, Michael Jackson, Thriller, the Eagles, those are all popular records. They always sell every month, every week.
And so when people come in here, what do they ask for? Like, I want
something that's new, or I want something that they had listened to in the past, but they don't have in the form of a vinyl record. Yeah.
And I'm sure like a lot of collectors come into like Star Wars memorabilia or other, like big movies that people want the actual record of the movie.
Absolutely. Soundtracks are very popular. Star Wars, for example, is one that's never gone away. I think people were collecting those records even when records were gone because the artwork and the history behind the music.
So you said a lot of people come and ask for new records.
Correct.
Are people still producing records today?
Yes. So right now, their records have passed the CD count, both in dollar and in units. So there's definitely all the titles, all the artists put out vinyl records. One record or one manufacturer that is very popular is Mobile Fidelity, which is an American brand. They put out the highest quality records in the world, both Mobile Fidelity and UHQR. Those are high-end, high-fidelity records. They've never sounded as good as they do today, those particular records.
That's great. And so who helps you out here at MXJ Records?
Well, we have one employee and my wife. And that's pretty much, it's a family-owned business.
Okay, that's great. And your hours of operation are?
We're open 7 days a week, 10 to 6, with the exception of Sunday, 11 to 3.
Okay. And what's coming up next at
Well,
MXJ Records?
April 22nd is Record Store Day. People will line up at 8 in the morning to buy the latest records, the limited editions, numbered variant versions of records that have been released in the past, or new records that haven't been released.
Oh, wow. So April 22nd, that's right around the corner.
It is, yeah. People start lining up sometimes at midnight. They wrap around the building for these records.
Oh, that's great. That's great to see.
Popular. All ages, too. People will camp out. They'll bring their chairs. It's like Black Friday or a concert ticket waiting to be sold like back in the day.
So is that traditionally every April 22nd? Or?
It is, yeah. Well, it falls on the third week of April, and in this case, it's the 22nd of April.
And that's all the new records come out?
Yes, all new records, first time ever released. At least that version of the record, if not different.
Oh, okay. So what can someone expect on April 22nd when they come here?
As of right now, the list is not out yet, so I don't even know. But every year it's an exciting event. It's the most popular event we have, Record Store Day, followed by Black Friday Record Store Day, which is another event.
So last year in April, what was the big draw?
Well, Taylor Swift, for example, had a 7-inch single that became very popular, very desirable instantly. They only did 10,000 copies, and I was selling the record for $16, $15. And today you'll find that record for like $100 to $200, that 7-inch, 2-song record.
Wow.
But a lot of her records that come out on Record Store Day become very desirable.
So this is a place to be on April 22nd.
It is, yeah, it is.
That's great. And I'm sure you'll expect a lot of people to come in and come to the store.
Absolutely.
And your location is?
145 Bridge Street You can also find us online at maxjrecords.com.
So this is great. You're here in Fairhaven, Max J Records. And so if I'm looking for a particular record, what would I do?
You just come in. We divided the store in different categories. We have jazz on that side, pop, rock on this side. Everything's alphabeticalized by first name.
Okay, by the first name of the artist.
Exactly.
What about a movie?
Movie, we have a soundtrack section, and of course, those are also alphabeticalized.
Well, I am so excited about this, and April 22nd is right around the corner. So your hours of operation again are?
10 to 6, Monday through Saturday.
Okay.
Sunday, 10 to 3. And we're also available online at maxjrecords.com.
Okay, and the address here?
145 Bridge Street, Fairhaven, Mass.
Awesome. Well, I think this is a place to be. And I can't wait to see how many people come on April 22nd. You're probably going to have a looping line, because of all this and getting this word out. So thank you, John, for everything you do for the community and for Max J Records here in Fairhaven.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome to another segment of the magazine. Today, we're here with Joni Rhodes. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. And you are going to tell us all about the Rescue Cafe, which is brand new to Fairhaven, but not so new. So how did this all come about?
The Rescue Cafe is just years of my entire life's work. When I was a little kid, I was like 5 years old, and people would be, "Oh, what do you want to do when you grow up?" I'm going to be a baker when I grow up. And that's exactly what I did. As soon as I graduated high school, all my other classmates went out and partied that night. I went home and went to bed and got up at 2 a.m. and started my baking career.
Wow.
I moved to Massachusetts about 12 years ago, started working at a local bakery down on Cape. Worked there for the next 7 or so years, and I would tell the owner all the time, "I'm going to open a bakery one day. Just you watch, I'm going to do it." And I ended up leaving there and transferring to a different coffee shop on Cape. And that's where I really started developing my passion for making drinks. Making something delicious that makes people happy is just something that I absolutely love doing. And I always knew that when I opened my business had to give back to the community.
Okay.
When you own a business that you don't sell anything online at all whatsoever, your local community is who supports you.
Mm-hmm.
So it was essential to me to be able to support my local community back. I've always loved dogs. It breaks my heart, the situation of animals in shelters. It also breaks my heart that none of them have enough money. And ultimately, at the end of the day, when you ask somebody who works in a shelter or runs in a shelter, what is it you need the most of? The answer is money. Mm-hmm. So it just kind of hit me like a lightning bolt one day. The two ideas came together, and it was like, we are going to give back to Acushnet's local shelter. And then the rest just kind of snowballed into place from there.
That's great. Well, welcome to Fairhaven and
Thank you.
And everything. Our surrounding area too, because actually our magazine gets shown in New Bedford too. So, so the New Bedford area will also see about the Rescue Cafe.
Oh, that's cool.
So, tell us how you ended up in the Gifts to Give parking lot.
Oh my goodness. So I started calling around to places that looked like they had a big enough parking lot that I could put my food truck, because all of this started in my food truck. And so many people, before I could even finish explaining what it was I was trying to ask them, just hung the phone up on me. And I drive by the Gifts to Give parking lot every day because I live in Acushnet, and
Okay.
they have that big spot in the parking lot and that electronic sign that I could actually plug my trailer into to have electricity, which is a huge bonus if you have a food truck.
Sure.
And so I called Jim Stevens from Gifts to Give. He's the owner there. And he didn't hang up on me. He completely supported my dream and said, let's give it a try and let's see how everything goes. He ended up being so much more than just a landlord to me. He gave me my first opportunity. He believed me in the whole entire way. He helped me as much as he could. We actually ended up being able to build a little community with his volunteers and some of the people that shop at Gifts to Gives. He would actually offer coupons to them, and they would come to the cafe and be able to get whatever they wanted, and it didn't cost them anything, and it would come off my monthly rent that I owed him.
Oh, that's
And
great. Yeah.
it was just great. I developed really good relationships with him and all of his volunteers. I miss them. I do.
So how did you pick who to donate to from the community?
Yeah, so this is something a lot of people might not actually know. Not all animal shelters have a budget in the town that they are from. So, for example, the Fairhaven Animal Shelter actually has a little bit of it's not enough, but a little bit of an annual budget that goes to helping the shelter. Care South Coast does not.
Okay.
Not only that, they are absolutely a no-kill shelter. Everything is completely volunteer based. They get no funding from any local government, state government, federal government, and they also don't turn down an animal who otherwise would have been put to sleep. They will pay the medical bills to get the $5,000 surgery that the dog needs to survive.
Wow.
And everybody there is just very dedicated, and giving up is not in their vocabulary there. And I was like, that's who I want to help.
Oh, that's great. Do you do any other fundraising efforts?
Yeah, we actually try to keep coming up with fun stuff all the time to try to raise some money for them. One day we actually hosted a big vendor fair in the parking lot of Gifts to Give, and all the vendor fees that we collected, 100% of that went to Gifts to Give. We've also over the past created like holiday Santa Paws Christmas ornaments that you could buy, and the money from them go to the shelter. Right now we are actually doing a merchandise fundraiser for them. A local woman, she goes by Lady, her name's Diane Reynolds. She used to volunteer for a Siamese cat rescue place, and she got her cat from them. And they used to create all these different pads and like fortune cookie treats with catnip in them, and the shelter would sell them, and all the money would go to the shelter. That shelter has since closed down, and she hasn't had anyone that she's like wanted to, get back into doing it for until she heard about us. And so she made us a ton of different cat toys to sell and cat pads, and 100% of all the proceeds are going to be going to the shelter off that.
Oh, that's great.
And then once we're up and running and the weather's nicer, I would really like to start doing some dog adoption events. We are lucky enough to have a fully fenced backyard, and the backyard is huge back there. So, hopefully if animals just get spotlighted and, get a little bit of extra attention, maybe they'll find their home.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you talked about you haven't talked about your logo. Tell us about your logo.
I love my logo so much. When I was opening the original coffee truck trailer, my food truck, it was around my birthday time, and my two best friends bought me time with a local artist.
Okay.
And I sent her over a couple of ideas that I had, and then she sent me back a couple of things she drew up, and then we mixed and matched pieces until we came up with the logo. I really like the logo.
So a local artist.
Yes.
did the logo.
Yes, she's down on Cape.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. And what about any other local artists in your retail space here?
Yeah, so we are all about trying to keep things as local as we possibly can. It goes back to that the community that supports you is your local community. I have one space in my retail area that's going to be rented out to a different artist every month.
Okay.
The first woman that's coming in, she actually does pet portraits. So essentially you can give her a photo of your pet and she can create whatever kind of portrait you would like for it.
Okay.
She also does landscape work and some other things. But every month it will be a different person who comes in and is able to set up. And it gives people who don't necessarily have a brick and mortar yet a place where they can set their stuff up, and then she doesn't have to be here. You know what I mean?
Right,
So it's not
right.
like she has to sit here for a month and sell her stuff. She can just set it up and it'll sell. It also gives my customers something new to see when they come into the cafe. And we are also working with a local dog treat manufacturer. They're Wolf and Bear Company. They're right in New Bedford. Everything is all natural, one ingredient treats. So we will be selling those as well.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So tell us also about E for All.
The E for All program. So we were actually lucky enough to be picked as one of the finalists for the E for All Business Acceleration Program. If you don't know what E for All is, it stands for Entrepreneurship for All. And it's located, Massachusetts has a couple. There's the South Coast one, the Cape Cod one, Roxbury, a couple other places. But essentially, a lot of businesses applied. They picked 30 businesses to be interviewed, and out of that 30, 15 of them go into the actual business accelerator. And what they do is for 12 weeks, they just give us business classes. Everything that a young or a new starting entrepreneur would need to succeed in the business world, they offer it to you, and it's completely for free. And in addition to that, you also get 2 mentors that stay with you for an entire year. They're, available to take any of your panic calls or answer any of your questions that you need, and just to have someone to bounce ideas off of. Because this whole time, I haven't had any employees yet. It's just been me.
Okay.
So to actually have somebody else who's invested in my business, not monetarily, but just who actually cares about my business, to run ideas with them and talk
Sure.
about things, it's huge. It really helped take my business up to the next level. I cannot stress it enough. If anybody is thinking about starting a business, apply for the E4All program. Connections, made so many connections with different people, made friends that are like my new friends for the rest of my life. Our cohort that we went through together, we were all very, very close to each other. And I'll use those skills for the rest of my business life.
Well, that's great. So you have your own mentorship program there too.
Yes,
So that's
absolutely, yes. Yeah.
excellent. So what made you decide to move the trailer out and come to a building?
Ooh, because we started outgrowing our britches. We were getting too busy. The trailer only has so much room. I couldn't keep enough food in there for people, and there were other things I wanted to expand on my menu, but it's like you can only fit so much in the trailer.
Right.
And now it's very exciting because I have my big commercial oven, and I can bring the real bakery side to the Rescue Cafe, which was something I wasn't able to do to the fullest extent in the coffee trailer. I didn't have a way to actually cook anything in there. And then this building became available, and Main Street Fairhaven needs something like this. We need a place where you can grab a nice cold drink on a hot day, get yourself a Hawaiian shaved ice or a smoothie, and then of course everyone needs their morning coffee. And everything was perfect. The landlords here are absolutely amazing. The same families owned this building since the day it was built, way back in the day. They're very nice people, and I'm really fortunate to be here.
Well, it's a great addition, let me tell you.
Thank you.
So what can people find when they come here?
Well, first of all, you can find friendly, smiling faces that are actually very happy you're here and would love to make whatever kind of specialty drink you want.
Okay.
You want to list off 7 things that need to be done to your drink? I got you. That's what I'm here for. I want to help. I want to make people happy. You will find, a nice retail area that you can look through. We offer, coffee cups, cat toys, dog cookies, sage bundles, just all kinds of nice stuff. And we will be offering a variety of baked goods.
Okay.
Hot and iced espresso, hot and iced coffee. And the Hawaiian shaved ice is what I'm the most excited about, because where I'm from Arizona originally, and that's a staple. We all grew up on Hawaiian shaved ice. They're on every single corner. And when I moved to Massachusetts, nobody had any idea what it was. And I'm just like, no. Like, we need to know what that is here.
What is it?
So, yes, it's essentially a snow cone.
Okay.
And then you can put whatever kind of flavors you want on it. We have a big variety of them. And you can also add candies into them if you'd like. But it's just so much more refreshing and light than eating, ice cream, which is essentially heavy milk on like a hot day.
Sure. So, and people are going to be able to eat in here?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. We're going to have roughly about 18 seats inside of the building. Okay. So you can stay, make a coffee date, have a little work meeting. We are working on getting internet for the entire building, not just for my POS system, and you'll be able to sit and hang out, get some work done. The back room is going to be set up with couches and chairs so you can relax.
Nice.
Come summertime, we're hoping to have our outdoor seating completely set up for people. We're also trying to make it work to where people can bring their dogs on leashes and sit out there and also enjoy a nice, beautiful summer day.
So very pet-friendly.
Very pet-friendly, yes. Unfortunately, dogs are not allowed inside, per the Board of Health would never allow it. Right. We're also, hopefully, in the future, working on getting some cats into the cafe. So, but that's to be continued.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. That's our follow-up story.
Yes, exactly.
So that's a lot for one person to do.
Yes.
Are you going to be looking to hire some staff?
Yeah, absolutely. This whole time I've been doing it myself just because, the food truck, it's hard to have employees when you don't have a bathroom to offer to your employees. But we're going to be looking. I'm looking for, hopefully some experienced baristas.
Okay.
Once again, it goes back to we are friendly people who want to make you that delicious drink. I have spent so many years of my life learning how to make true, proper espresso drinks and coffee, and it's not just a sugar-loaded cup of coffee. Like, we're making really good drinks here. So yes, going to be looking for some baristas to join the team with me ASAP.
And any other major changes now that you have a building?
We definitely are able to add some items to the menu that weren't on there before. The biggest one being the smoothies.
Okay.
And then have you ever had a smoothie bowl before?
A smoothie bowl? I have not.
Yep, most people haven't because nobody serves them anywhere, but we're going to be serving them here. So essentially, it's everything you would expect from an actual smoothie, except for it's made thicker, so you eat it with a spoon out of a bowl.
Okay.
And you can add toppings to it, like granola or coconut or whatever else tickles your fancy. And it's just a really healthy breakfast because it's a bowl of fruit. It's just blended fruit.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
I'm
I can't wait to
excited.
try one.
Yes. And then, of course, we're able to, massively expand our retail section. Before it was whatever I could just put on the window, fill outside of the trailer. So that part I'm really excited about. And just, being able to do events. The woman who does the pet portraits I was talking about earlier, she's going to be coming and doing a pop-up event where you can actually bring your dog outside in the backyard and sit and you can watch her as she paints your dog's portrait.
Wow.
And the adoption events and just other stuff in the trailer I couldn't, there wasn't as much as I could do.
Yeah.
And I'm just really excited to be able to. It's like the sky's the limit. We can do, whatever we want within reason now.
And what will your hours of operation be?
So right now to start, we are going to be Tuesday through Sunday from 6 a.m. till 3 p.m. As soon as I get a full staff in here and everything's going, I would like to open 7 days a week and stay open much later in the evenings. That way people can get that last minute coffee or a treat. And so yeah, here's to hoping.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So you said you had your inspiration as a young girl, of what you wanted to do and what you wanted to be in life. And what are the people that are mentoring you? How proud are they of you?
Oh, they're so proud of me, and it's so nice too, because it really is just. I've worked so hard my whole life just working in the food industry. When I was in 7th grade, the school bus used to drop me off at the Elks Lodge in the town that I lived in, where I made salads and washed dishes there. I mean, this has just been, there's been no other career path for me. And it always was the ultimate goal of leading up to owning my own place.
Sure.
And like the food truck was my own place, but this is just holds an entirely different spot in my heart, you know what I mean? But yes, my mentors are so proud of me. It's been amazing too, because one of my mentors' name is Angel, and she actually came to the food truck when I very first opened and told me about the E4All program, and she
great.
was the one who got me involved and then ended up being my mentor, and she couldn't be prouder.
Well, the future is bright for the Rescue Cafe, and we're so glad that you've entered into our Fairhaven community and to really highlight this on Main Street. So what's the address here so everyone knows?
It is 414 South Main Street, Fairhaven.
Very good. Well, Joni, thank you so much for being a
Thank
part of
you.
the show. And
course.
I look forward to coming in and getting a juice bowl? No.
Smoothie bowl.
Smoothie bowl.
Smoothie
Okay,
bowl.
thank you. I'll get it right.
You will.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.